My name is Richard. I'm a psychotherapist, coach, guide person. And today I would like to talk to you about the brilliant psychotherapy relationship that develops between Will and Sean, between Matt Damon, Robin Williams' characters, in the amazing masterpiece of a film called Good Will Hunting. What I'd like to do is show you how the trajectory of a good healing relationship proceeds, that we can actually see very clearly the different stages of the development of that relationship in this film. I'm going to show you some clips, some of them at length from the film, and then I'll comment on them and talk about them. I'll just say a couple things briefly before we dive in. So Sean, Robin Williams' character, who I think is really just Robin Williams playing himself, to be honest, he has lost his wife some years previously and has quit counseling. And so he's coming to this work a bit reluctantly. I don't know what the writers intended, but my fantasy of this is that Robin Williams suffered a terrible trauma in his life and in many ways felt very shattered by it. And now coming back to the work, something has changed in him, something has humbled him, and he is no longer maybe playing the persona, the role, the expert sort of thing that maybe he used to play in his professional life. I don't know. That's my fantasy, that Robin Williams has undergone a transition to make him ready to do the work with Will. Okay. And then Will, he's a foster child, grew up in a rough neighborhood, a lot of fighting, a lot of run-ins with the law, etc. And so Will is coming at this from not having had any good parenting, any good father figure, and basically his mentors have been his friends. His friends are lovely. They die for him, but they are insufficient when it comes to true mentorship and parenting. So Will is coming as a very traumatized person and a very brilliant person intellectually. And so one of the themes of this film is that intellect isn't enough. He's got a bunch of cute ideas, a lot of ideas, but he hasn't really been called into life very fully yet, experientially, emotionally. His inner life is still very hidden. And so that's going to be the theme of this film, is the slow discovery and opening up of that inner life. Let's just jump into the first scene and let's get started. So the professor has bailed Will out basically from jail on the requirement that he sees a therapist. So this is a court-mandated thing that he's doing. So he's doing it, but he's not doing it. It looks like he's just being kind of a punk, which he kind of is. But there's a much deeper undertone to this, which is a defense. He is trying to scare people away, essentially. And he's smart, and he's good at it. And I also think he's probably had a lot of interactions with Child Protective Services, social workers, maybe other therapists, all these people that want to, quote, help him, but they're doing it in some kind of professional role, and he can just sense the inauthenticity. So I'm picking one of several of these examples here, which I'm just going to play for you now.
Well, the pressures, and I'm not judging them, I'm not labeling them, but they are destroying your potential. There are no more shenanigans, no more tomfoolery, no more ballyhoo.
You're right.
Okay, ballyhoo. What a hilarious word. This is the worst way to treat not just a new client, but any person. He's known him for 2 minutes and he's already telling him what to do. No more of this, no more of this, right? Lots of therapists do this. I would like to believe that the writers of this actually had bad experiences, as I've had, as many people have had, with this kind of, quote, therapy. And this is a criticism of the entire field. Will, I think, has the absolute, the right, honest response.
God, I know.
It just starts messing with him.
You're not going to get off that easily. Come on, Will.
He's like, if you're going to run your program on me,
well, I mean,
I'll run my program on you.
I mean,
what kind of things?
I do things that I hide from people.
You hide, do you?
No. I mean, I go places. I interact.
Really? What sort of places?
Just certain clubs.
More? It's nice. Yes. What sort of clubs?
Like fantasy.
Fantasy.
It's not bad.
Bit more.
It's just something like when you get in there and the music like owns you. It's like that house music. It's like bum 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 boom 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 boom. You know, you start dancing.
Boom,
It's
boom,
just
boom, yes.
So now Will is just looking for the way in to blow this guy up.
find it hard to hide the fact that you're gay.
What are you talking about? What?
Look, buddy, 2 seconds ago you were ready to give me a jump.
A jump? Are you? I'm terribly sorry to disappoint you.
Hey,
but
look, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care if you putt from the rough.
what are you putting from the rough? What on earth are you talking about?
Putt from the rough. Hilarious. Okay, so I want to introduce a distinction that I find very, very useful in my work. The difference between what could be called explicit and implicit content, okay? The explicit are the things that we're saying. Are you really a homosexual or something like this in this case? Which, okay, let's remember this was from a different time and, and that would be an insult in the 1990s in Southie. So let's have some historical context and just not get too bothered by this. Okay. The implicit content is this from Will's perspective. I think you have a fragile therapist persona. I think you're running a program on me, and I'm going to basically throw a blow towards you and see if you can handle it. And the answer is no, he can't. He is extremely fragile. He's behind his wood desk, the beautiful cabinets in the back, and what are probably a stack of hundreds or thousands of psychoanalytic journals. And Will's just like, no, man, be authentic with me or no way. So the professor then finally has to go recruit Robin Williams, who reluctantly decides to try to work with Will. So they tried the normal people first, and now the professor goes to the outcast. That initial meeting is very important. I think in all of us is a visceral question. Can I trust you? Will you abandon me if I show you who I really am? Can you handle my wholeness? Can you handle my love, my aggression, my fear, my insecurity? And prove it to me. I need you to prove it to me. I'm going to test you. And I need you to prove that you will not shatter, that you will not run away. So now we see how Robin Williams' character, Sean, actually handles this.
How are you? Where are you from in Southie?
I like what you've done with the place.
Oh, thanks.
Do you buy all these books retail, or do you send away for like a shrink kit that comes with all these volumes included?
So I love how he talks shit with a sense of humor.
Did you read any of these books?
It's so good.
I don't know.
How about any of these books?
Probably not.
What about the ones on the top shelf? You read those?
Yeah, I read those.
Good for you.
Already, Sean's character is much more improvisational and playful. You'll see on this channel, my YouTube channel, that this is the way of working that I love. And Robin Williams, amazing person, human, comedian. Again, I think he's just playing himself, but
What do you
he's
think about them?
Hey, I'm not
trying
here
to
for a fucking
pivot.
book report. They're your books. Why don't you read them?
I did. I had to.
It must have taken you a long time.
Yeah, it did.
Let's turn it up a little bit here.
The United States of America, A Complete History, Volume 1.
So he's trying to find a way to poke
Jesus.
at
If you want to read a
Sean.
real history book, read Howard Zinn's People's History of the United States. That book will fucking knock you on your ass.
Better than Chomsky's Manufacturing Consent? You think that's a good book?
Fucking people baffle me.
We see right away, too, that his primary defense is an intellectual defense. I'm smarter than you. You guys are all idiots. And in a way, kind of fair enough, because he is smarter than everybody. But it's also a defense emotionally. So we're seeing that this is what he leads with.
Fancy books, you surround yourselves with them. They're the wrong fucking books.
And we see it throughout the film.
Fucking books, Will.
Hey, whatever blows your hair back.
I haven't got much hair left.
And you see how
You know, you'd be better off shoving that cigarette up your ass. It'd
Sean just keeps playing. He's like, I'm not going to take the
be
bait.
healthier for you.
I'm going to
Yeah,
keep...
I know. It really gets in the way of my yoga.
You work out, huh?
What, you lift?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nautilus.
No, 3 weights.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Free weights, huh?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Just like that.
What do you bench?
285. What do you bench?
You paint that?
Yeah. You paint?
So I love the acting. There's all these little moments where Will is making a very subtle, unconscious decision. Do I open to this guy or not? And there's these little moments where it's like, oh, we're getting to something. And then he just switches the subject, right? Classic channel switching.
Do you sculpt?
No.
Like art? You like music?
It's a real piece of shit.
Oh, well, tell me what you really think.
And now he's trying to just rip him and see what happens.
Impressionistic mix makes a very muddled composition. It's also a Winslow Homer ripoff, except you got Whitey rowing the boat there.
Well, it's art one, eh? It wasn't very good.
That's not really what concerns me, though.
What concerns you?
Just the coloring.
You know what the real bitch of it is? It's paint by number.
Is it color by number? Because the colors are fascinating to me.
Are they really? What about that?
I think you're about one step away from cutting your fucking ear off.
So they're playing a real kind of
Really?
schoolyard
Oh, yeah.
game here.
Think I should move to the south of France, change my name to Vincent?
And another test. Is this guy going to run away from me if I physically threaten him? Robin Williams, brilliant. Just like, I'm just going to keep joking around with this kid.
You ever heard the saying, any port in a storm?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that means you.
In what way?
Maybe you're in the middle of a storm, a big fucking storm.
Yeah.
The sky's falling on your head, the waves are crashing over your little boat, the oars are about to snap. You're just pissing your pants, you're crying for the harbor, so maybe you do what you gotta do to get out. Maybe you became a psychologist.
Bingo. That's it. Let me do my job now. You start with me. Come on.
Maybe you married the wrong woman.
Maybe you should watch your mouth.
So now he
Watch
finally
it right there, Chief, all
he
right?
was digging and looking, trying to find anything. He got the rise he wanted. And he feels kind of, haha, I did it. He's kind of self-satisfied.
That's it, isn't it? You married the wrong woman.
Now he's like,
What happened?
I want to ruin this guy so I can get out of this
Did she
room
leave you?
because I don't
Or she,
want emotional
banged
intimacy.
some other guy?
If you ever disrespect my wife again, I will end you. I will fucking end you. Got that, Chief?
Not typically encouraged in the world of therapy to strangle your clients on the first session, though we may have the impulse sometimes to do that. So I'm just going to chalk this up to a great cinematic effect and not take it too seriously and analyze it too much. Obviously, you shouldn't strangle your clients. So I'll just leave it there. But let's just read it symbolically, which is here's Sean saying, you know what? I have limits. You've never had a father that has shown you where boundaries are. And I'm going to show you this right here. And I'm going to physically show you what it's like to hold you in a place and give you a container. For a year, I worked with neglected youth in Queens in New York City. They actually, more than anything, wanted somebody to push back on them. They needed somebody to say, hey, this is too much. You need to chill out. You can't do that, because kids don't have that self-regulatory mechanism on their own. Consciously, Will wants to scare this guy away. Unconsciously, he wants him to grip him and hold him tight. So the session ends. Sean nonetheless decides to go forward working with him. Then we go into the next scene where a couple things happen. Sean shows Will that he's not going to hide behind a persona by telling him that he was impacted by what Will said. Okay, this is going to be very important. I'll say more about this as we go along. You challenged me and I listened. Now I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to see if you listen.
What's this? The taster's choice moment between guys?
So,
This is really nice.
still talking
You got a
shit.
thing for swans?
Hilarious.
It's like a fetish. It's something like maybe we need to devote some time to.
So more defense.
Thought about what you said to me the other day.
It's like, I'm not getting
About
close.
my painting.
And now,
Huh.
Sean, it's
Stayed
like,
up half the night thinking about it.
you impacted me.
Something occurred to me.
I thought about
I
what
fell
you
into a
said.
deep, peaceful sleep, and haven't thought about you since. You know what occurred to me?
No.
You're just a kid. You don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Why, thank you.
It's all right. You've never been out of Boston.
Nope.
The implicit meaning of what he's saying is you're hiding behind an intellectual defense. You've got a bunch of cute ideas in your head, but you are afraid to contact real life.
So if I asked you about art, you'd probably give me the skinny on every art book ever written. Michelangelo. Know a lot about him. Life's work, political aspirations, him and the Pope, sexual orientation, the whole works, right? I bet you can't tell me what it smells like in the Sistine Chapel. You've never actually stood there and looked up at that beautiful ceiling. Seen that. If I ask you about women, you'd probably give me a syllabus of your personal favorites. You may have even been laid a few times. But you can't tell me what it feels like to wake up next to a woman and feel truly happy. You're a tough kid. I ask you about war, you'd probably throw Shakespeare at me, right? Once more into the breach, dear friends. But you've never been near one. You've never held your best friend's head in your lap and watch him gasp his last breath looking to you for help. I ask you about love, probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could level you with her eyes. Feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you.
This isn't therapy speak. This isn't that persona that the first idiot was, hiding behind. He is speaking from his heart. And in therapy, this would be called, this word is disclosure, just disclosing something about yourself. That was traditionally very frowned upon. Freud would have said to probably not disclose anything. This character knows how to build a real relationship, and he's being vulnerable with Will. And that's what starts to open the door.
Who could rescue you from the depths of hell, and you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel. To have that love for her, be there forever. Through anything. Through cancer. And you would know about sleeping sitting up in a hospital room for 2 months, holding her hand, because the doctors could see in your eyes that the terms visiting hours don't apply to you.
And again, I go to this fantasy of my own that he was so softened and humbled by this terrible experience that he doesn't have to hide behind a persona anymore. And demonstrating to Will what real courage looks like relationally.
You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself. I doubt you've ever dared to love anybody that much. I look at you, I don't see an intelligent, confident man. I see a cocky, scared, shitless kid.
So there it is. I see behind your defenses that intellectual front that you put up.
But you're a genius, Will. No one denies that. No one could possibly understand the depths of you. But you presume to know everything about me because you saw a painting of mine. You ripped my fucking life apart. You're an orphan, right? Do you think I'd know the first thing about how hard your life has been? How you feel? Who you are? Because I read Oliver Twist? Does that encapsulate you? Personally, I don't give a shit about all that because you know what? I can't learn
I love it. I don't give a shit about all that. It's perfect.
anything from you I can't read in some fucking book. Unless you want to talk about you, who you are. Then I'm fascinated. I'm in. But you don't want to do that, do you, sport? You're terrified of what you might say. Your move, Chief.
The narrative of that first meeting was Will saying, screw you, you can't handle me, prove you'll stay with me even if I'm a jerk. And Sean comes back. He's like, I will stay with you. but actually now it's on you. I'm still here, but are you going to show up as you, right? I think of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey narrative, which maybe some of you are already familiar with. Sean is the character in the myth that is the one that makes the call to adventure. This personage shows up in so many different ways and so many different stories. This call to adventure is very personal, very much about his inner life, and perfect appeal to the masculine ego. Can you do it? Are you tough enough? I don't want to show every single minute of the film because this would just be really, really long then. So there starts to be a transition. So I'm going to show you a couple clips of the transition where Will starts to soften up a little bit. Will has gone out on a date with Skyler, and they're talking about it, but still very much in his defenses.
I went on a date last week.
How'd it go?
It was good.
Going out again?
I don't know.
Why not?
Haven't called her.
Christ, you're an amateur.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Don't worry about me. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, but this girl's like, beautiful. She's smart. She's fun. It's different from most of the girls I've been with.
So call her up, Romeo.
Why? So I can realize she's not that smart, that she's fucking boring? This girl's like fucking perfect right now. I don't want to ruin that.
Maybe you're perfect right now. Maybe you don't want to ruin that. But I think that's a super philosophy, Will. That way you can go through your entire life without ever having to really know anybody. My wife used to fart when she was nervous.
The way in with Will is to be vulnerable himself. Carl Jung has this idea of the archetypes, the father, mother, etc. Robin Williams is really stepping up into the father role. Sean decides, I'm going to paint him a picture of what real intimacy looks like. This kid doesn't know what it is. What's the real potential in life here?
She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. She used to fart in her sleep. Sorry I shared that with you. One night it was so loud it woke the dog up. She woke up and got like, oh, was that you? I said, yeah, I didn't have the heart to tell her. Oh, God.
She woke herself up.
And so he's really chipping away at Will's idea of the perfect human, which is really a defense to keep humans away. He's saying this is what humans are really like, and actually that's worth loving.
Oh, Christ. But Will, she's been dead 2 years, and that's the shit I remember. Wonderful stuff, Little things like that. Yeah, but those are the things I miss the most. The little idiosyncrasies that only I knew about. That's what made her my wife. Boy, and she had the goods on me, too. She knew all my little peccadillos.
He would have modeled healthy
People call
relationships.
these things imperfections, but they're not. Oh, that's the good stuff. And then we get to choose who we let into our weird little worlds.
This is how relationships work, Will.
You're not perfect, sport. Let me save you the suspense.
This is how life works.
This girl you met, she isn't perfect either. But the question is whether or not you're perfect for each other. That's the whole deal. That's what intimacy is all about. Now, you can know everything in the world, sport, but the only way you're finding out that one is by giving it a shot. You certainly won't learn from an old fucker like me. Even if I did know, I wouldn't tell a pissant like you.
Why not? You told me every other fucking thing. Jesus Christ. Fucking talk more than any shrink I ever seen in my life.
I teach this shit. I didn't say I know how to do it.
It's so good. I teach it. I didn't say I know how to do it. So look at Will's posture now, how different his body posture is from the first encounters that we see in the film, and how really humble Sean's character is. Like, I teach it. I didn't say I know how to do it. Like, there's a way in which he has a real beginner's mind, to borrow a phrase from the world of Zen, a real beginner's mind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here with you and I'm just trying my best. And that's what's so disarming, because he's being real. And that's all Will needs, is authentic intimacy. That's what he really needs. He doesn't need someone to fix him or diagnose him or tell him what's wrong or whatever. Let's go to another clip here where basically it's just a deepening of their relationship. Matt Damon, Robin Williams, just such brilliant actors. So look at his face. He's curious now. He's starting to look up to him more as a mentor or father figure and less as an adversary to be defeated, less projection as, you're another person that's just going to hurt me, and more like, who are you? And now he's starting to ask questions. So this is a big pivot from screw you to you talk too much to tell me more.
So when did you know, that she was the one for you?
October 21st, 1975.
Jesus Christ, you know the fucking day?
Oh, yeah. It was Game 6 of the World Series. Biggest game in Red Sox history.
Yeah, sure.
My friends and I had slept out on the sidewalk all night to get tickets.
You got tickets?
Yep. Day of the game, we're sitting in a bar waiting for the game to start, and in walks this girl. It was an amazing game, though. Bottom of the 8th, Carbo tied it up. It was 6-6. It went to 12. Bottom of the 12th, in stepped Carlton Fisk. Old Pudge. Steps up to the plate. He's got that weird stand.
Yeah.
And then he clocks it, High fly ball on the left field line.
Okay, so already this is not typically what you're supposed to do as a therapist. And again, I think I'd say it again, my channel is so much about like doing work in a human way. So he's being himself. He's playing like he's got the air bat and is out there swinging. And this is, again, what Will responds to. He's just following the energy.
Fine. 35,000 people on their feet, yelling at the ball, but that's not because Fisk, he's waving at the ball like a madman. He's going, get over, get over, get over. And then it hits a foul pole. Oh, he goes apeshit. And 35,000 fans, they charge the field,
Yeah, and he's fucking blowing.
He's like, go, get on the God, get out of the way, get out of the way.
I can't fucking believe you're at
And now notice how the physical contact is positive. Look how this has changed. It's a push, but it's a very different push now.
It's that fucking game. Yeah. Did you rush the field?
No, I didn't rush the fucking field. I wasn't there.
What?
No, I was in a bar having a drink with my future wife.
You missed Pudge Fisk's home run?
Oh, yeah.
To have a fucking drink with some lady you never met?
Yeah, but you should have seen her. She was a stunner.
I don't care if
Oh,
fucking...
no, she lit up the room.
I don't care if Helena Troy walks
Oh,
into the room.
Helena
That's game
Troy.
6. Oh, my God. And who are these fucking friends of yours? They let you get away with that?
So now he's challenging a really, really core structure in Will, which says, what is the most important thing in life? Is it to be a spectator at a game or to follow your heart?
I had to. What did you say to him?
Just slid my ticket across the table and I said, sorry, guys, I gotta see about a girl.
I gotta go see about a girl?
Yeah.
That's what you said?
I had.
And they let you get away with that?
Oh, yeah, they saw in my eyes that I meant it.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you, Will. That's why I'm not talking right now about some girl I saw at a bar 20 years ago and how I always regretted not going over and talking to her. I don't regret the 18 years I was married to Nancy. I don't regret the 6 years I had to give up counseling when she got sick. And I don't regret the last years when she got really sick. And I sure as hell don't regret missing the damn game. That's regret.
Wow.
Again, look at Will's face. He's increasingly, I think, regressing in a good way. So again, maybe this is me reading into things too much here, but Will had to grow up too fast. He had to be an adult when he was a child. He had to put on all sorts of layers, and he never really got to have the developmental trajectory of a healthy childhood, which would have allowed him to be the face that he has here. He's curious, he's learning, he's open. I think just this screenshot really says everything about that. The layers have kind of come down, and there's more of an adolescence in his face now, more of a wow sort of look that he didn't get to have as a kid. There's so many little nuances in here about the developmental trajectory, what happens when development in childhood is arrested, traumatized, and what it looks like to repair that and to kind of go back to those stages. And that's really what this is. That's what developmental trauma therapy is, to have an experience of a father figure that he did not have. Changing our past, it's not changing our parents, our families into something that they were not, that they, for whatever reason, could not be. It is having new reparative experiences that give us what we always needed to thrive and to grow, to be, in my view, fully birthed into the world, energetically birthed into the world, to have those foundational experiences that give us the structure, the foundation, the roots that we need to stand more fully with confidence, with clarity in our own center. And now they've established a relationship. But the thing is that they haven't really talked about the elephant in the room yet. The elephant in the room is that Will's childhood was a disaster and is full of pain and full of grief. And so now the next scene is going to be showing us a more direct confrontation with the elephant in the room. So he has a case file from the court, and this is, I believe, the last, or what, near the last mandated session that they're going to have.
What's that?
It's your file. Send it back to the judge for evaluation.
Oh. Hey, you're not gonna fail me, are you? What's it say?
Want to read it?
Why? Have you had any experience with that?
20 years of counseling. Yeah, I've seen some pretty awful shit.
Will is actually, behind all the defenses, is desperate for real connection. And now he's asking for it explicitly. Have you, the person, had any experience with that?
I mean, have you had any experience with that?
Like, I need to know if you know this.
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Sure ain't good.
I will meet you there.
My father was an alcoholic.
And again, disclosure, sharing his own story, saying, I'm in this with you, brother.
Mean fucking drunk.
I can be here with you.
You come home hammered, looking to wail on somebody.
I have a big enough container in me to hold these experiences. I'll show you that so that you can come here too.
So I'd provoke him so he wouldn't go after my mother and little brother. Interesting nights were when he wore his rings.
He used to just put a wrench, a stick, and a belt on the table and just say choose.
Well, I gotta go with the belt there, Vanna.
I used to go with the wrench.
Why the wrench?
Just fuck him. That's why.
Your foster father.
Yeah. So, what is it like? Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why,
There was just some more intimacy, and now the defense comes back in. And so there was this moment where they like really started getting close, and now Will starts to pull back. He does it in two ways. The first is he's like, oh, is this just a disorder or whatever? So he's kind of baiting him like, are you going to drop me into a diagnostic category? Are you going to objectify me? Are you going to abandon me in this relationship with an intellectual defense of your own? Are you going to step back and start playing the role of professional? Or are you going to stay here with me? And then a little FU.
is that why I broke up with Skyler?
I didn't know you had.
I did.
So what does this say? Hey, dude, you've been telling me all these personal stories. You think you've impacted me. Well, you know what? I went and ruined my life anyway, because I'm not going to let you in either. Like, you can't really touch me. So another defense, right? What I love about this scene is that he is cycling between defense and vulnerability. And it's what I call the edge. We are always on these edges in our personal work if we're challenging ourselves and having courage, which I think we should all be doing as much as possible. The edge is, here's my conscious stance. Here's the stance I normally take. Here's my usual habitual pattern. And here's this new choice, this new possibility. I don't know what it's like. It's scary. It's vulnerable. I've never really gone there before. What Robin Williams, Sean, is about to do is what I call speaking to the unconscious. He wants to speak to something deeper in Will. And so they've built this relationship, this container. There's enough safety, enough trust. And so he just starts speaking directly to what he knows is this deep, deep wound inside of Will in a way that Will isn't even yet conscious of. By him repeating this phrase, he helps Will to become conscious of the grief of believing that the terrible things that happened to him were his fault, because this is what children believe. Children automatically believe the world is about them. And if parents are awful to kids, then kids develop a terrible shame, self-hatred complex and a lot of grief. So that's what's happening here.
You want to talk about it? No. Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit. It's not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault.
Defense vulnerability. We're seeing it flash on his face in microseconds.
I know.
See? Smile.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
Back to sadness.
I know. It's not your fault.
He's trying to get out of it.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Sean, not you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I think this is one of the best scenes in all of the history of cinema and art, even. I don't even know if I need to say a whole lot. I think you understand what happened here. I love the zoom out on the hug. We've gone from fighting Will to hugging Will, to Will that is able to have intimacy. He's finally able to touch this part of himself, this grieving, terrified, probably traumatized part of himself in relationship for the first time. So my view is that this is the first real relationship he's ever had. And, it's not that hanging out with his boys isn't a real relationship in some way, but they have limits. They cannot go here with him. On the one hand, of course, they love him. But on the other hand, they too do not have the courage to go to this place that Will needs to go to. This is the first time that he's really had a father figure that he can open his heart with. And this is the healing. This is the repair. Beautiful scene. So I want to just go to the final scene just briefly, just to show you again how different they are with each other after this transformation. So we can already notice that their body language is different. They're much closer in the room together. Will's very relaxed in his body.
So that's it? So we're done? Yeah, that's it. You're done. You're a free man. I just want you to know, Sean, that you're welcome, Will.
So they have a real relationship now, real attachment.
So, I hope we keep in touch,
And now he's saying, Dad, you better not abandon me.
Me too.
Dad says, yeah, I don't really like Robin Williams' response there, though. I wish he would have been more like, yeah, man, I'm still with you, instead of, yeah, me too.
We're traveling around a bit. It'll be a little hard. But, I've got an answering machine at the college I'll be checking in with.
But of course, he does keep the connection.
You call that. I'll get back to you right away. Yeah, I figured I'm just gonna put my money back on the table and see what kind of cards I get.
I believe Sean says here, you've really touched my life too.
You do what's in your heart, son, you'll be fine. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Will. Does this violate the patient-doctor relationship? Only if you grab my ass.
Let's not get too close. Let's joke around a little bit, but also awesome joke.
Take care.
You too.
All right. The scene is beautiful. The whole film is beautiful, but actually, in real life, this would just be the very beginning of the real work, to be honest. So they're just starting to form this connection, and that's been so healing. Really severe attachment issues are not resolved in one Hollywood moment. That this would be work that would be ongoing really for years, in some ways for the rest of his life, not necessarily in therapy per se, but this is Hollywood. They want to wrap it up nice. My imagination is that Will goes off to California to chase Skyler and has a bit of a crisis. His goes back into his defenses. Skyler tries to love him and he starts punching the wall again or something like that. And then he has to desperately call Sean wherever he is on vacation. You're just like, dude, I'm having a meltdown. Like, I thought I had this, but this really isn't working very well. Like, I really need help. So that's what real therapy and personal growth look like. In real life, this is just the beginning. There isn't a one and done when it comes to personal transformation. We are deeply layered, deeply patterned beings. And it's like changing the direction of a cargo ship. It takes a long time, okay? And it's possible too. And each little step is a step in the right direction. I think this film illustrates the trajectory of therapy, the defenses, the slowly developing a relationship, more vulnerability, the testing, the working of the edges. What I love about this relationship is that it says something deeply true about any kind of therapy, healing, mentorship, guide kind of relationship. In order for it to work, the practitioner's heart has to be in it. In my view, it will not work without that, or at least the results will be so mediocre that it's unethical. You need to have your heart in it, and not just performatively, like, I love my clients or something. No. You have to really have a real relationship, which something that Nancy Napier calls being in the resonance with your clients. This is why I think that not everybody should work with everybody. It needs to be a good fit. It really does, that there's an X factor around the fit between people. And when that happens, the practitioner is impacted by the client as well. And that's what we see in this film. Will's life is changed, clearly, by Sean. But Sean's life is also changed by Will. Your wife died and you're just going to throw in the towel? Have some courage. You don't be afraid of life either. And what I love about this is that we all have our own ways of avoiding life, being afraid of life, not having courage. And we all need to be called out on that. So while there is always this role, appropriately, of the one that helps and the one that's being helped, that this is a beautiful framework that just works really well. It's very time tested. The therapist needs to be impacted too. They need to be chewing on what the client brings to them, what the client brings up in them. Sometimes it's a challenge to live more, and sometimes it's like, this client's driving me up a wall and I'm furious right now. Like, our reactions mean that we're in the relationship with the person, and that's what we work with. Good work is not reading out of a manual and, well, the diagnostic code, do you fit with these criteria? And that's so alienating. I think that what Robin Williams shows here is the right way to work. Maybe he had the benefit of, as a person, Robin Williams, of not having gone to therapy school and being taught to dehumanize himself and his clients. He just was himself. And that's why this role works so well, because Robin Williams was a man with a big heart, a brilliant man. What I love about Robin Williams in this role is that he's creative. In improv, you say yes and. When your improv partner does something, yes and, not no, because it shuts down the energy. So a good practitioner, over here, try this. It's a dance, right? You have a dance partner and you're moving. And I won't say more about it here, but I actually think that the persona of the therapist, I'm the one that knows, here's the diagnostic codes. I actually think it's just a flex, superiority. I'm better than you. I know more. I'm more developed, whatever it might be. And I think that stance is actually always damaging. And clients often probably don't realize it at the time, but unconsciously, I think it's damaging. That's my view. I'll say more about that on this channel at some point, I'm sure. The last thing that I want to say is that one of the big conflicts in the film is between Sean and the professor, Lambeau. I forget. Yeah. The conflict is this. The professor wants to hijack Will's life for his own narcissistic goals. I have this fantasy of this famous person that discovered this other famous person, and they became, the one mentored the other, and they had this really incredible relationship for many years, et cetera, et cetera. The professor is living in his own dream and imposing that onto Will. So in many ways, this is the archetype of the good parent and the bad parent. Sean is the good parent, the one that wants to empower his child to live his life in sovereignty, in alignment with his own inner world. Let's use the word soul here. To use Joseph Campbell's term, follow your bliss. And the professor is like, no, I don't want him following his dreams. I want him following my dreams, right? How many parents do that? I'm a lawyer and I want you to be a lawyer too. I want you to be this. I want you to take over the family business, whatever it might be, right? This is an age-old conflict. And Sean always advocates for Will throughout the movie, for Will's sovereignty, for his unique journey. I believe that this is maybe the deepest form of respect that one human can have for another human. To really respect and uplift that deepest sense of self, not override it, but support it and say, I want to know you, that version of you, not your persona, not the person you think you should be because everyone else told you should be that, not the tough guy you think you should be because your boys want you to be that, not the ultra smart genius because the professor wants you to be that. I want to know what you really want. I want you to have a chance to make mistakes and go through a discovery process. Go out to California, try that job that I think you probably aren't going to like, but you need to discover that for yourself, right? That's part of the film at the end. And I think that when we get that respect from other people, we feel it, consciously or not. We feel, oh my gosh, this person really respects me in my wholeness. And I think that's one of the greatest gifts that we can get and give to other people. I can't imagine a better outcome for humanity. To be a little grandiose for a moment, seeing the soul in somebody else and trying to draw it out, and to do it with kindness, little by little, as Sean does in the film. Overall, I think that this is a great film. I aspire to work as Robin Williams does in this film. This is really the art of relationship. There's such a complex dance that is possible. And to me, one of the purposes of life is learning to dance in that complexity and to integrate all of these different parts of ourselves in a more and more seamless way so we can just show up in daily life in the most mundane moments and bring that wholeness and that creativity. It's just a great example of how I think this work should be done. I hope this commentary was helpful. That's all for today. And okay, bye.